I'm Monique Funderburg, and I'm with Nisa Brooks. She's a nanny, and she has agreed to be interviewed about her job. Thank you, Nisa, for
You're
taking
welcome.
time today. So my first question is, how did you get started in the nanny field?
I actually got started by working in preschools and daycares and getting close with families. Them first asking me to babysit for them, and then it going into when they went on vacation and further and further until finally I got a couple nanny jobs the same way. But I met the families through daycares and preschools.
Okay. What education do you have, or do you need to have to be a nanny?
I don't think you always need necessarily certain education, maybe more so nowadays, but I have my BS in Child Development and Family Relations, Family and Consumer Sciences, yes. But I think a lot of times if you have the training early on, they might take that, but nowadays it's definitely more important to have at least a bachelor's in child development or something. You do find some nannies who have degrees in math, though, so hey.
That's good too. They can teach math.
That's right.
Do you see being a nanny as more as a career or a side job or a hobby?
It actually could be all of the above. It can definitely be a career if that's what you choose, and a full-time nanny, especially for a busy family with lots of children. They do need help. That's part of some people's lifestyle and children and raising children is having help there. It could also be a side job. It's a very good side job if it was a part-time situation that family needed. And I think a lot of people look at it more of a side job and a hobby.
Yeah.
You take it more seriously when you do it yourself, or if you're the family you're working for. I get a lot of funny looks.
What are some of the things parents expect from nannies?
It definitely is. Not only you have to read the children, but you have to read the parents too, because I've encountered some weird parents, some great parents, some laid back parents, and the parents I work for now are, forgive me, but they're kind of clueless and they forget things. So they're a whole different type of people, but you just kind of got to feel it out and ask them what their expectations of you are. It's the best thing to do.
Okay.
Sometimes they expect a lot. Sometimes they want you to do their laundry and cooking too. So it just depends on them.
So what are what are the expected earnings from?
It definitely depends on the family and the situation of how many hours or how much you do. But if you work your way up, you can make a good living as a nanny. You really can. It just depends on the situation.
Okay, then can you tell me some advantages and disadvantages of working in the home with the family versus being in a center or a classroom?
There's definitely both on each side. A disadvantage of when you're in your classroom, you can kind of mold the surrounding to how you want it, how you're comfortable. You can direct the children and keep a routine the way you want to. When you go into somebody's home, it's a lot different. They already have the way they run things in their home. They have the way that they parent. So it's definitely a big difference between the two, and you could find lots of disadvantages and advantages. I find it a little bit easier to work with smaller groups of children when you're in their home, obviously, but there's nothing like creating your own vibe in your classroom that you can't do in somebody else's home.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Nisa, for your time. I got a lot of valuable information from you.
You're welcome. Yay!